And what an emote, M. That's a crazy emote. I read that, Nin, as man versus code, which is probably a thing that exists. I don't need this thing in me anymore. Kiki, thank you for 9 months. What does make it exactly mean? I'm trying to remember details here. I love Kurt, but I'm not really a follower of the Farlands. Oh, thanks, Doug. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Doug. Doug, thanks for that. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for clarifying that, Doug. Thank you. Appreciate that, Doug. Right. Here. See. Okay. Everyone stop. I'm aware of the fact that Minecraft. I'm aware of the base premise, okay? We don't have to go back to kindergarten on this shit. However, if you would have let me finish my fucking thought, you Tylenol takers, the fucking thing is, I don't recall whether Kurt was advancing versions of Minecraft at all, or if he was staying on a version that still had the issue, because I don't think that issue exists in modern Minecraft. Uh, okay, so he's still on an old version, but he has like wolves. Is he on like the latest version before they fixed it? I know they've been around a long time, but again, why do you guys hyper focus on the stuff that's not the answer? So has the Farlands problem. uh, it's it's fine. I'm sorry I asked. It's cool. He's gonna get there. Awesome. My understanding was that basically the farther out you get into it, the more wibbly wobbly everything kind of becomes. But it doesn't. I don't. I guess I don't know. Well, you're not letting me. You guys are answering questions I didn't ask, and etc. It's what is arriving at it? Like, what is there an end? Is there a point where you just can't move anymore? Is that what arriving at it is? I meant something much more specific than any of the things that you guys were telling me. Like, what does it amount to? Because it's more of like a glitch kind of thing. Okay, so it has like a Donkey Kong end screen. Is basically what it has, is what you're saying. Okay. We got there. We got to what I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah. Time to go to the other side. Let's just go back and make sure that there's farlands on the other side as well. Thank you for that accurate summation, Rudy. Appreciate that. Oh yeah, walk along the edge. That's an idea. I'm sorry I yelled. I hope everyone understands that I was being performatively mad because it's funny. Like I literally did find it funny when you guys gave me like the kindergarten answer. And I tried to answer funny by saying Doug 1,000 times. 85 gigabytes? Holy shit. I didn't know that there was a Doug book. Oh, what is this? A picture of the Farlands? Oh, wow. I mean, that's got holes in it. That looks like you could keep going. Am I missing something? Yeah, so is he really arriving then? Yeah, yeah, I was gonna reference that too. Damn it, Nin. Fuck. God damn it. I was just gonna say that shit. Oh, there's no physics. Okay, so truly arriving will be when you literally just cannot continue. Now, I assume he knows that he'll be arriving soon just purely based off of, like, mathematically, people know based off of what his coordinate is, how far he is from where the Farlands are supposed to end, right? Okay. Cool. That's a heck of a thing. It only took around 15 years. All right. I'll say I didn't have a particular game plan in mind for this stream this evening. I'm weirdly tired. I was already tired and I wasn't sure Like, I don't know if I'm going to be productive at all. But I thought maybe we'd look at some things and kind of rubber duck some stuff, if you guys are good with that. What game to start Scrad with? I haven't decided yet, but I am going to be figuring that all out soon. Yes, it really can, Doug. It really can. It really does. So I did some digging into what the possibilities are here. I was talking with Nakomi about it, basically the ideas I had, how to approach all this, because I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I want to do the ScreamADay TV thing. And the first thing I I don't know why I said the first thing. Something that I discovered was that the API that's available to browser sources is more limited than I thought in terms of control that it has over OBS, even with full permissions. It's not really useful stuff to any of this. It can't control its own source. It can do things like stop the stream, which is not really, that's not terribly useful for this purpose. So, um, it seems like the most useful thing is actually going to be uh, the OBS WebSocket server, which is nice. OBS is fucking packed full of APIs. It's crazy. OBS is doing all kinds of shit that you don't know that it's doing. And it's pretty cool. Lots of projects over the years got pulled the into the project. Food, I don't know. Why does this seem like the right time for me to pull in your pet favorite plugin? I don't understand. Not my goal right now. Why can't I hold all of these APIs? Yeah, I mean it is chock full. The stuff that you just get for free with OBS. OBS is probably one of the most featureful open source apps that there is. It's so powerful. So the I have basically set up just a test of like connect to OBS, and it does work, which is nice. So for instance, I have this just this test command. This is not particularly complicated, but if I switch to like the void, and then I'll restart the server. Wow, the server did that. So this does have the ability to do what I need to do, which would be like controlling, enabling, disabling sources primarily would be the most useful thing. If I'm going to do this in a sort of lo-fi way. Because like, as Ifa pointed out yesterday, containers are probably overkill for what I want to do. And I think that that's true in the fact that there's a bunch of shit that I have to learn that would go very far beyond what the point of the project is. However, there are quirks and things that come with any approach here, right? Because none of these were written in a way to be used like this. So some of the issues is that they to do it in the like kind of low effort way here, What I'll have to do is basically clone the repos for each game onto the Stream PC. I'm just going to lay it out. You guys can, I don't know, I don't know, listen to me, I guess. Share your thoughts. I don't know. So I have to clone the repos onto the Stream PC, set up a scene that just is the ScreamADay TV scene, add them all as sources disabled, and then I believe, actually, I should just double check this in case I'm misremembering. I'm fairly sure. Let me see. Yeah, okay, here's browser sources. Okay, yeah, shut down source when not visible. Refresh browser when scene becomes active. That one won't be relevant, but shut down source when not visible probably is relevant. Because I think that essentially will force it to. Yeah, that's going to force it to rerun when it becomes active again. And that's important because basically these can't all run simultaneously. Because of the whole polls thing and other stuff. Like basically any of the ones that involve polls are going to conflict with each other. Yeah. So that has to be carefully managed because if it so happens that there's a lingering poll, that's going to fuck things up. We don't want that. And I haven't written, like, the server is not very robust in terms of, like, it doesn't really check things. It's very rough and ready. So, like, if something sends a request, it just does the request. It's not checking to see if there's an active poll or anything along those lines. It could do these things, but it doesn't. So what I'm thinking here is that with the OBS WebSocket server, I honestly, the more I've looked at what I've written for the server, which this was like, I don't know, 2 years ago or whatever, I don't like what I did. But this will work. I don't like it because basically there's this weird redundancy that I baked into everything. I don't know why I did it. Where, like, what's a good example? There was something that was annoying me. I think it was the poll stuff. Or actually, a good example is the new chat stuff that I just did. Yeah, so like, so so I have this the events emitter that's like this sort of communication within the server itself, and it's like on chat message, we do this handling. So if we get an event, and that is who's emitting that. So what's going to be coming from here? So we have the Twerple listener that's listening to the Twitch WebSockets for chat messages. And then if it gets one, we then use our internal to the server events emitter to emit chat message, which the WebSocket shit, this is just a pile of listeners. That's all it is. It's listening for this. And this is the event is what we've passed through. What we're passing through is the event from Twerple. So it has, whatever it has. We're passing it straight through this events emitter back over to where I am keeping all the WebSocket stuff for whatever reason. And then doing some kind of arbitrary processing crap before I fucking send that on to wherever. Which at this point I feel like I should have probably just passed the WebSocket into the chat manager. Why am I doing the events emitter at all? It's really not necessary. It's just a sort of additional layer of complication for no reason. Oh, you guys, yeah, you're looking at this black screen. I'm so sorry. Server.js. Miserable pile of listeners. Because basically I established we start the WebSocket server, and then actually, does all the WebSocket stuff have to happen inside of this? Is that what's going on here? Is that why I did this like this? I don't even know. I have both of these. Neither of these work. Um, hmm. Yeah, so this stuff doesn't work at all. This is basically whenever we're asking Twitch to do a thing, we kick it through to the API manager. Hmm. Mm-hmm. What am I doing here? Is that defined somewhere? It is way up here for some reason. I see. Ah, end poll. Right. So it's trying to keep some sort of state. Mm-hmm. Well, basically, what I was saying was the example that I ran through was my chat message thing that I added. Because it feels very roundabout to be like, we. So, what do we do here? So, chat manager, we use Twerple to kick off the listener, the chat listener here. We pass in the events emitter, the event listener, which is Twerple, and the user, which we established earlier on. This is where this is actually Twerple here. This is my own custom wrapper thing. So this is the actual Twerple function. The event submitter kicks it back. We also spit it out to the console here. And then, so the event submitter is basically kicking it back over to here. And that's intercepted here. We could also log it again. Why not? But we're not because debug is not on. And then this is where I'm doing arbitrary sort of like rearrangement of data that I then pass on. That I just kick off to everybody who's listening to this WebSocket, basically. Kick it off out in the world. I don't really know a lot about Express, so I'm not sure if it's necessary for all of this stuff to be piled inside of this. But that's the way it is. Yes. This is what the games connect to. They listen to this, and then whatever is broadcast out of here. I was kind of thinking, like, why can't the WebSocket be passed through this? Just pass it in here, and then instead of doing this, just pass it right on, like, just blast it out on the WebSocket. Yeah, I guess it is, yeah. But I mean, I could extract that out. I have this forever issue of being like, I have like pattern paralysis with programming. I'm always sure whatever I've done is shit because it feels like shit to use. that's that's basically where it's at. So anywho, what would happen here with OBS is I guess I would pile more shit into this essentially, right? Because we're connected to the OBS WebSocket server right now. So it's actually connected to my Stream PC instance of OBS. And then I guess I would kind of build a bunch of methods in here that can be kicked off, kind of like the the API setup, the Twitch API setup. So basically define the things that need to happen. And the games would need to be able to say, hey, I am shutting down, so you need to turn off my source in this scene. So I guess that's nice at least, because since the server is handling connecting to OBS, I don't have to have all of the games connect to OBS. I can just have them use their existing WebSocket connection to the server and just request, hey, do this, hey, do that. I guess that seems sane. I don't know. I'm having that thing where I hate the fact that people can see any of this because I feel like all of this is gross. I regret showing it. Um. Oh yeah, I pulled up Dino Park for fun as well. Would you like to observe Dino Park? It's been a while. I think it must be in some kind of debug mode because these all go by so fast. Impossible to read. Yes. My boy. I love this one. I love the
Oh,
vibes of
oh,
this one.
oh, oh.
Luciferum, thank you for 53 months. I think I could just disable all of them every time. Uh, so from the WebSocket API, I can pull all of the sources in a scene. And a lot of the way that it seems to work is name based. So, like for instance, the example that I showed with switching scenes, literally it was just name matching. I just put in the name that I have for my main scene, which is main. So hypothetically, I just hard code the list of sources that I made based off of the names that I gave them. And yeah, so every time a game shuts down, just make sure that they're all shut down. Um, and then I think that basically the TV application gets the notice that we don't have any games active, and then it I don't know, does a poll probably to ask what game you want to play. Or it could be chat message based and just sort of collects up matching keywords. So essentially just sort of an open vote system. Yeah, the stats on all the dinos are bizarre. That is the extent of this. I guess we don't have to watch this anymore. Gonna keep rotating through dinosaurs. But it is fun. Oh yeah. This was actually interactive. Forgot about that. This, I guess, is probably kind of an unseen feature. It's wigging out. There's a permanent sound going on. Oh, it's finally reset. Holy shit. I don't think it was intentional for it to behave like that. And notice that when I clicked on park info, it didn't actually bring us any park info. It just basically restarted the whole thing. The timer is very upset. So this clearly was something that I had done that was unfinished and has some bugs to it. Look at the timer. There's it looks like it's ticking through possibly three different time states. Hmm. Is this one just one big monolith? Sort of. Pretty much. Test. What's that? Hmm. What in the world? Hi. What's up, Abby?
Oh, nothing. I'm just making myself a tiny cup of coffee. Oh, baby dishwasher is so good at washing baby dishes.
It is. Oh yeah. This was a nice feature that I did. This is a nice thing that I could use the browser source API for. Was basically if I wanted to have like built-in countdown support like this does have, but not have it counting down while I'm waiting to, start the stream up. Um it wouldn't start. It would wait until it detected that streaming had begun. Which is nice. Um what's that do? That's sort of just a default setting. Um we try to do this, and then if it succeeds, we set OBS to true. If not, OBS browser source not found. Because if this doesn't exist, it throws an error. So we end up in the catch block. And so then we don't do this stuff. We don't do these listeners. And we essentially just, everything continues after that. So we start the screensaver. And then if we don't have OBS, we kick into the sequence. If we do have OBS, we don't kick into the sequence until streaming starts. And once streaming stops, we reload the whole thing. Ah, yes, the long version, the the initial load. I forgot about that. So yeah, I had demo settings on and not the real settings, which are supposed to be more like presentational. I really like the DVD screensaver logo physics thing. It's pleasing. Very pleasing to watch. All done. Wow, that wastes almost like 3 minutes. It does 3 minutes of loading. I guess I really wanted to simulate the old multimedia feeling. Abrupt stops, short king, 110 pounds. Dazed, not capable of flight. Well, anyway, here. Let's see. I guess I could try to actually do some productive things. Okay. Scene items. There they are. So this is what we would use. Get scene item enabled, set scene item enabled. Remove scene item, create scene item. Wow, I could actually just make them on the fly. Scene items. Locked. Now, is this like a toggle? Because I don't see a set scene item disabled. Okay. Gotcha. So it's a Boolean. Set it to true or false. Lovely. Numeric ID. Scene name. Scene ID. This is required. Okay, so I have to do some sort of mapping. Okay, so I can get the ID if I know the name. It's a little convoluted. Could also get the whole ass list. I like the complexity rating. I'm curious what the parameters are that we decide it's more complex or less complex. Yeah, true, Nin. That'll be a good approach because there will have to be other required sources in there as well. Like we'll have the sources for alerts and some audio stuff and so forth. So it's not going to be just the game sources anyway. So I'll have to filter it against my hard coded list. Or, yeah. Yeah, game dash would be exactly. Wouldn't even have to update it. It's a good idea. Like a transition. It's a nice idea. But I think that sounds like a bonus feature. Yes, Mr. Bear? Why are you barking at me? Hmm? What's up, bud? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with keep it simple to start with, just to get this like off the ground. Like it's funny that Dino Park had the feature of like checking whether the stream is even live before it does stuff and whatnots, compared to Survivors, which like last night I left it open and it was just running polls. Hold on a sec, I have to check shenanigans situation. Back. So to be honest, I don't actually need that much from this. Just get the list of IDs. And then toggle them on and off. I'll have to do some sort of ID system on the game side too. Probably use the same names coming from the games that I use on the sources. So just name match them together so that I know which is what. Because if a game is just saying like, "Hey, I'm dead now," I need to be able to identify which one is saying that. I suppose so. Although I like things to be more explicit. Because if things get out of sync, that's when you start to have problems with approaches like that. This is interesting though, because it would just give me, it would hand me the scene item ID. Although it seems kind of like a silly, unnecessary extra complexity. Yeah, I mean, either way, they will have full, like OBS, the server, and the games will all have like full cross communication possibilities. So I can really do whatever I need to do on that front. Friends, I know I haven't been here long, but I think I'm going to actually go because I'm not feeling great. Kind of crept up on me. Sorry to say. Yeah, thank you. Sorry. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night.